Johannesburg EMS spokesperson Xolile Khumalo says they are on standby for any emergencies. Johannesburg residents have once again been urged to remain on high alert and avoid rivers due to ongoing torrential rain and possible flooding. On Wednesday, 2 people drowned in the Joburg River in Bramley, north of Johannesburg, while 2 others were rescued. Well, for more information, we're now joined by Xolile Khumalo. I appreciate your time this evening. Would you give us more details about the level 2 severe thunderstorms expected over Gauteng? What specific preparations have been made by the disaster emergency management services to address any potential risks?
Good evening, and thank you for the invitation to the show. So, the city of Johannesburg EMS has over 30 fire stations around Johannesburg, which covers the 7 regions in Johannesburg. So we have all our stations readily available to respond to any form of emergency during this rainy period. So we'll have to separate EMS. What we do is we respond on any cases of emergencies, and disaster management usually comes after the EMS has come to the scene and rescued people. So they take over from us in case people need shelter.
Now, how are the firefighting and rescue teams positioned and prepared to respond to heavy downpours?
We have our search and rescue team, which is the aquatic unit, which usually responds to rescuing. So they are placed in most of the fire stations around areas that are flood prone. So we have a full team that is always readily available to assist the communities in case of emergencies.
Now, in our story, we mentioned that a number of people were swept away by some of these flash floods that occur. What is the advice to these individuals? And are rivers signposted areas that many of these individuals would visit in order to carry out various rituals?
Pertaining to rituals, what we are urging the traditional healers, sangomas, and reverends, whomever their denomination is to just refrain to baptize people during this time, because their water levels are really high and it's actually putting their congregants' lives in danger if they continue to perform these rituals.
Are you able to provide us?
So we're really pleading with them to refrain until the weather clears out.
Are you able to provide us with more information about areas prone to flooding incidents, as mentioned by the city of Joburg?
Well, right now we're just on the lookout, mostly like everywhere in the city. Yesterday evening there was an incident in Sunning Hill where allegedly a woman got swept away by a flash flood. We're busy with that search currently. We have not been able to locate the person. So areas that are usually susceptible to flooding, areas in Deep Sloot, Orange Farm, Soweto, all areas around Kliptown, Mufulo, and just generally the CBD, and most basically Alexandra as well, because we've got communities that has built their homes around the river edges there. So if it rains, they are mostly in danger because of the water level.
Now, we've talked a little bit about flash floods, but for the sake of our viewers, what are flash floods? Because they seem to hit people when they least expect it.
It just comes at you, like you will be driving and you will like see that there is water on the road, and it's water that collects very in high speed. It just hits you unexpectedly, like you will be driving and you think you're safe. That's why we advise people, if you see a collection of water on the road. Rather turn around than try to attempt to cross, because you're not sure how deep is the water. So to ensure that your life is safe and your loved ones in the car, if you're driving with people, just make a U-turn, find an alternative route to take home. It may be longer, but it can save your life.
Now, one of the questions that I'd like to ask, which we seldom talk about, is what do you do in the event that one of your loved ones is either swept away or faces a challenge where water is concerned? I mean, we're talking about these flash floods. We're talking about a number of individuals that have been swept away. How does one deal with it? What is your advice?
If you are able to get away or able to escape from the flood, so the first thing that you should do, don't try to go back to the water where your car got sunk. Ensure that you call the emergency number to ask for assistance. And our number is 011-375-5911. Or if you're calling from a cell phone, you can always use 112 or 10177.
Okay, just give us a reminder of those numbers again, please.
It's 011-375-5911. If you're calling from a cellular phone, it's 112 or 10177.
Xolile Khumalo, I appreciate your time. Johannesburg EMS spokesperson, just giving us a warning on what to do in the event of those flash floods.